Hello, and welcome back to the SUDO Show, where business meets Linux. My name is Bill, and alongside me today are Neal and some other person here. You're not Brandon, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I want to do is talk about what our plans are for 2026, talk about what happened in 2025, and then set us up for the next season of amazing episodes. So long story short, 2025 was a challenging year for us. A lot of things happened. A lot of life got in the way, a lot of scheduling complications. And unfortunately, we just didn't get to create what we had wanted to. And we're sorry for that. We're really hoping that that's going to change this coming year. Going forward, the SUDO Show will be a monthly podcast. So that's a little bit easier on us and our schedules. And I also wanted to take a minute to talk about who we are. Brandon has decided to venture out into the open world where his job takes him frequently, but he is still with us, and we hope to have him on here at some point to just kind of check in and say hello with us.
At least in spirit.
At least in spirit. Mm-hmm. My name is Bill Schouten, and I have been using Linux since 1998. During the day, I manage an IT services firm, and at night, I like to tinker with my Homelab and with projects such as Home Assistant, Proxmox, TrueNAS, and a bunch of other open source projects that I think are kind of fun. Neal returns to us for the next season of SUDO Show. So Neal, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself for those of us that don't know who you are?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Neal Gompa. I've been a community contributor in various open source projects for over 2 decades now, and I've been doing Linux for even longer than that. And for the past decade, I've had a lot of professional experience in both the developer side as well as the operational side as a systems engineer, software engineer, embedded engineer, DevOps, and all that sort of stuff, going from small pocket machines all the way up into building private clouds. These days, I have my business, Velocity Limitless, where I offer services to help people with adopting open source and developing solutions built on Linux and open source, especially with Linux desktop, as well as servers in the cloud and all those sorts of things, to help people be successful in leveraging open source in their day-to-day.
Joining us this season on SUDO Show, we're fortunate enough to have Noel Miller sitting alongside Neal and I. Noel has been working in the Linux community for many, many years. His background and expertise spans both work and play. So, Noel, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So, hi, I'm Noel Miller. You may have seen me around the community. The most famous thing I'm known for is being one of the maintainers of Bazite, which has been an up-and-coming gaming image distribution, whatever you decide to call it, for gaming on Linux. I also have more recently been getting more involved in the Fedora community, so I've been trying to get things going upstream there as well. My professional experience, if you've seen my LinkedIn or whatever the case may be, is I've spent a lot of time working in various managed services companies. So I'm based out of the Minnesota area. So if you are in this area, feel free to say hello if you see me on the street for whatever reason. And my most recent job that I'm currently working right now is at Red Hat. So I recently got hired within the last couple of years, and I started basically doing technical account management for them, specifically a dedicated operations technical account manager, which is real fancy. Basically just means that I have hands-on in kind of a similar way in which that I've worked in managed services. So it's one of those things that I'm extremely passionate about on the community side as well as small business side, which is why I feel very honored to be joining the show, because before I'm joining as a host, I also was a viewer of the show as well. So I'm really glad to be here and happy to do that. And as far as things that I like to do for fun, it's probably obvious, but I do like playing video games because I help work on Bazite. It's shocking, I know.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Total surprise to me.
been playing video games probably longer than I've been working on Linux, which I forgot to mention. As far as how long I've been working on Linux has been since Ubuntu 12.04 was the first distribution, and then have messed around with all the different ones. Beyond that, recently I've gotten into riding my bicycle, so I've been doing a lot of cycling, which has been really great for helping me with my physical health, because I just turned 34 this year and I'm getting old.
You're just a kid still.
Exactly.
Getting old sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last thing is I have a horde, what most people consider a horde of animals. I've got 2 dogs and 5 cats that live in my house. So I'm a busy boy. So yeah. But that's me. That's who you're going to have to deal with on this show. So,
Neal, what do you like to do for fun when you're not doing Linuxy things?
Wow. I like reading a lot, actually. Like, I'm a pretty voracious reader, particularly about fiction, science fiction, and fantasy stuff. Which is also why, like, a lot of the shows I watched, anime and live action stuff, tend to be in that genre. Like, Doctor Who's one of my favorite shows in live action, and then oh gosh, I have a long list of anime that I've been watching and whatever. Like, it is too long to keep up about. And also, I play like games. I mean, I think that's actually hopefully somewhat common among all three of us, that we play games. My personal preferences, I like to play classic Sonic games. I used to be in the Sonic hacking fan game scene and whatever, and so that's a happy place for me a little bit. And I play lots of other stuff, a lot more of the puzzle types, the stimulating type challenges, and some action adventure stuff. I'm not big into the first person shooter types, which because I suck at them. I don't have the trigger fingers for it. But also, like, in the last few years, I've done a lot of conference travel, which is it's one of those things where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I've kind of leaned into the kind of loving it sort of thing. I like going out. I like seeing the world. I like meeting new people. And I like, just broadening my horizons. I've always been a big, broad picture kind of guy. And it's a lot of fun to, like, go and see the world and stuff. And so I've kind of turned a little bit into a travel hacker, which is somewhat embarrassing, but also kind of fun too. So, Bill, what about you?
I have a number of hobbies myself. I'm unashamedly a gamer as well, although my gaming preferences are kind of all over the place. I do enjoy me some action RPGs, Diablo, Path of Exile, Grim Dawn. I enjoy driving in flight simulators. Those are always fun to get into. I'll play whatever's basically in my Steam library, which is much larger than I think it should be. That's a topic for another
Join
day.
the club.
How many unplayed games do you have? That's really the
Oh no, dude!
We'll save that for an episode of this season.
We're all screwed if we talk about that list.
To Noel's point, I do want to stress that while the SUDO Show is focused on business, I think all of us can admit that all work and no play make somebody quite dull. And we are going to talk a little bit about how do we unwind as business people in Linux. Well, of course we game. And so we'll go into a whole episode this year where we talk about gaming a little bit more and how it actually does kind of tie into business. You'd be surprised at how the two go together. But when I'm not gaming, I too also have a horde of animals. I have 2 cats and 3 dogs. My wife and I foster and rescue animals as well. And when it's not freezing cold here in New England and the ground being covered with snow, you'll find me on my back patio grilling or smoking something.
I can't wait for the summer. I want to hang out again and eat your wonderful grilled meats.
Well, we will absolutely make that happen. So Neal and I are both located in New England. Neal being not so far away. He's about just over an hour drive away and does stop over from time to time. And Noel will find a way to get you out here at some point as well so that you can enjoy some wonderful barbecue. Maybe we'll do something fun here for the show, or maybe we'll just all sit down and play some sort of silly game.
Why not all of that?
Why not all of that? So let's talk about the SUDO Show a little bit, because some things have obviously changed. So the first thing I wanted to let all of you know out there is that the SUDO Show is now an independent show. So we're no longer under the Tux Digital umbrella. We still are very close with several people on the Tux Digital community, but we are an independent show now. And also the focus of the show, we wanted to broaden it out so that those of you that are students, home labbers, entry-level sysadmins, a small to medium business tech person that's thinking about how to introduce Linux into their business, we want to be the show that you come to for the best information. What's staying the same? Well, obviously, it's still the SUDO Show. We still have our same logo, our same artwork, our same style. And a big shout out to Michael Tennell for our logo. He did a phenomenal job with it. And I couldn't think of a better person to have do that logo. And we're still three friends talking about where Linux meets business. That hasn't changed, and it's not going to. So you'll see some new things, you'll see some old things, but at the end of the day, we're still going to be creating amazing content just like we were before. What are the things we want to do outside this podcast? Well, there's a couple of them. First, we want to create some webinars. Webinars are very helpful ways to get information out to the community in a very easy to consume format. Just like if you were to go to a conference and sit down inside of one of the seminars, we want to give you that same experience. And in fact, maybe at some point we create a virtual conference where we kind of aggregate our webinars and you can sit down and learn about whatever it is that you want. Or if there's something that you want to learn that we haven't talked about, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. We're going to create some long form videos, not too often, but if there's a specific topic of interest that comes to the three of us, we'll put something together and release that out into the wild. In addition, we're thinking about creating some shorts, little bits of helpful information or something fun that you can grab while on the go. So that's kind of where we're at for SUDO Show for 2026. Some old, some new, a lot of fun, a lot of help, a lot of wonderful information coming your way. So please make sure to like, subscribe, check out our merchandise store on Tux Digital, grab some amazing SUDO Show swag. We've got shirts, aprons, hoodies, mugs, stickers, whatever you want. Make sure you ring that notification bell so that you always know when we come out with something new. Gentlemen, anything you want to say before we wrap up our little intro for 2026?
I think we're at the point where business meets open source.
I think we are at the point where business meets Linux.
Wow. Yeah. No, I'm very much looking forward to this year. Really excited to be a part of this. And yeah, there's not much else to say other than that.
All right, everybody, stay tuned because our next episode will be out this January. Thanks for tuning into the SUDO Show. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.